Welcome to the Good Karma Sport Fishing Podcast. I'm your host, Captain Ryan Van Fleet. Today, I'm going to talk to you guys about catching wahoo when it's cold. We're going to jump into it right away. So, first, I want to wish you all a happy new year and hope everybody had a good holiday season, got out there and did some fishing. I'm going to give you a quick Florida Keys fishing report. So, it was windy down here, but around the New Year's, we had some amazing weather. I mean, I have to say it was really good. So, but with that, the conditions were a little off, meaning that, so we had some powdery blue water from all the north wind and we had some really strong currents, but honestly, the fishing was really good, really good. And there were a lot of wahoo caught and speared. So on the Eagle Wreck, there was a ton of wahoo that were reported there. Like a ton of wahoo caught there. Like it was it was really good. Okay. So as far as how those fish moved in and out, that's something I'm going to be covering in the new course that I have available starting this week. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit more later after I finish this Florida Keys fishing report. So also too up by the Dwayne Wreck, again, I call it the petting zoo. It's one of the easiest places in the Florida Keys to catch a wahoo. It was very good as well. Lots of wahoo stacked in there. We had a pretty good bite. The bites came, I would say, sporadic. Okay. It was a new moon bite. Water was off. Lots of boats, but again, very good. Lots of big wahoo. Big. I mean, like really nice fish. So and we hooked one that was at least 60 pounds, 60, maybe 70. So, but yeah, so it's been some really good fishing. As far as the bottom fishing goes, the yellowtail snapper bite along the reef, phenomenal. Water was off color. Really big flags were in there. The current was, we had some, it just depended. I mean, sorry, I was so excited that my words came out wrong. So I do that once in a while. So I'll talk really fast. I've been known to say path reef versus patch. So I just get super excited because I just love fishing. So, and I love talking about it, as do a lot of other guys that I know as well. And those of you guys listen to this podcast. But anyhow, so along the reef, very good action. The mutton snappers are in there along the reef as well. So it was just really good. Also, too, I think golden tilefish has opened up now. Uh, I just had, I'll talk more about that a little bit later, but I had a deep drop course that I released last year with some golden tile areas, okay, in the Florida Keys. And if you didn't get involved in that, then you missed out. So I gave a lot of good information in there and I gave the gold nuggets. I'm not going to say what they were, but I gave the gold nuggets. Okay. So, but I have the new course coming out. It's Winter Wahoo Strategies. And with that being said, people ask me, well, what lure colors do you prefer in the wintertime when it gets cold? I've been catching a lot of wahoo on pink colors over the past couple of years during this time of year. So that's something that you probably should consider adding to your spread. But it's always been my golden rule. The colder it gets, you add pink. And they just key in on that color. The water's off color. If they're down really deep, they can see that from a long distance. I want to show you guys a blog that I wrote. This was a while back, and a lot of you guys have read the blog. But before I get into that, I want to talk about the new 8 week intensive Wahoo strategies that I got going on. So this starts, I'm going to walk you through it. It's an 8 week program. Now, I started these 8 week programs a year ago, and a lot of the guys that have taken every one of them. And I have to tell you, the pictures that I'm seeing are like amazing. These guys are crushing it, and I'm so happy for them. Um, like to see them advance so quickly is very cool. And they just follow the plans, and then on that they build upon their own skill sets. So, but what's going to happen this year is that we're going to see some cooler water here. So, which is this is perfect timing for this 8 week intensive. So what this is the new winter Wahoo strategies for live bait catching for Wahoo and lures. Okay, lure selections for Wahoo. How do you run them? What do you look for? So we'll come down here and I'll just go over it. It's a subscription program, and how it works first is before I get into the nitty gritty is these programs are recorded. Okay, and you can go down, just scroll down to the very end of this page, and you will see that each week, or how it's going to work is you'll have 1 week you'll get a recorded lesson emailed to you, okay? And then the following week there's a Q&A for that lesson. So lesson 1 gets released on 1/7, and then the following week the Q&A comes out, okay? Q&A 1 gets released. Okay. So there is a Facebook group where you'll watch the lesson, and then you'll go in there and then you'll type all your questions, and then I'll go through them and answer them, and then I'll release it. Now, what's so great about this is that you get to learn from other people as well, and there is a Q&A, okay? I am like sometimes the Q&A just evolves, which is cool. So the more questions the better. So it can actually evolve into another lesson. So it just really just depends on the questions that we have. And lesson 2, that gets released on 1/21, and then the following week, the Q&A gets released on 1/28, and it goes all the way through 2/25. Okay, so I'm basically gonna be walking you guys through the winter. Okay, so 1 week of what the selection of live bait, and then you're gonna go. So basically, it's gonna take you through basically the end of January. So it's going to get you through the toughest times. And I would consider um, January and February to be the toughest, two toughest months of the year, honestly. So, um, and if you follow what I'm going to teach you, it won't be. It won't be. You will be successful. And you guys can go back through and you guys can check to see what I've caught in the months of January and February. It didn't used to be like that. So I'm going to share with you what I've learned and what I've like made the mistakes of doing. And I'm going to be very honest with you guys with this, especially the mistakes. Okay. Now, what I'm going to teach is universal, as far as what you can do, as far as how you fish, how I fish live bait, specifically. It's a little bit different than most guys, but again, if you are running a smaller vessel, it's very important that you join up with this course because I'll show you how to manage wind, because I run a 24. I've been doing this for over 13 years now, and some of the biggest wahoo I've ever caught have come off spinning reels and live bait. So, and I'm also going to teach you how to fish less pressured areas. Okay, everybody's huddled in on the Dwayne wreck. Everybody's huddled in on the Eagle. I'm going to teach you how to fish less pressured area and how they move and where to be. Okay, so the fish do move specific times of the day, where and when. And that's something I'm going to give you. I'm going to go over the strategies about how I do it. Okay. So we're fishing for bites. We're fishing for bites. Now, one thing about live bait fishing is there is a lot of bycatch in there, and I'm going to teach you some secrets as far as fishing with. Sorry, I was just scrolling down there really quick. Fishing with live bait. Okay, so what I'm going to cover is the strategy, when the live bait fish versus when the dead bait. I get asked that all the time, so I'm just going to give it to you straight up. The bait you don't see on YouTube. Okay. There's a lot of live baits that you guys don't see on YouTube as far as, and so I'm just going to leave it at that. And how to catch that bait. Also, too, my secret to live bonito fishing. It's not what you think. Live bonito fishing, if you know how to do this, It will like it's yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. My secret to you guys, let's just put it like this. A lot of people are overthinking it. There's lots of it's so easy. Okay. My secret to catch the secret to catch more fish versus miss fish. Bait catching tips. Okay, that's gonna be fun. I can't not wait for that one. Get a lot of questions about bait. I'm gonna dive into bait, and I have not talked about much about bait fishing. Okay, and I'll also, as you guys know, that I like to overshare. So in those courses, I just love to teach, and I'm super excited. Again, what I'm going to teach is universal, and some areas, like I said, some areas there's lots of Wahoo. They're not pressured, so you can get away with a lot of different stuff that we can't get away with here. So again, if you want to get signed up for this course, you can just go to goodkarmafishingtackle.com. As you see, you go to the homepage there, you go to the saltwater strategies, and you just go down, click on the new winter live bait strategies. Now, some other Wahoo courses that I do have out there available. I've got the How to Catch Wahoo Consistently, the Game Changer course. The guys that really applied this stuff crushed it this fall. Crushed it. So congratulations, you guys. Okay. And yeah, so super excited to get started. Get signed up tonight. Okay. So let's get back into it here with the other stuff I want to talk about. Here, let's go to my website here and go to the blog. Okay, so we've got the blog up here. So let's get that rolling here for you guys. There we go. All right. So we got the blog up here. So within this blog, I've got a ton of information in here. And for you guys that really are really like beginning, like trolling and stuff, I've got a really good blog in here for you guys that are just like, really want to get started with the trolling, and because a lot of you guys have bought boats and you're still wanting to learn the basics. So if you go to, I'll show you I've got so much in here. I've hours and hours of reading here. Got some solar lunar tips in there for you. Um, how Wahoo see color, Patrice, sea witches. Now I'm going to take you to also to just because they're titled Mahi Mahi doesn't mean it's always about Mahi Mahi. Just FYI. So I've got, oh, before we do that, um, it's getting cold. Okay. So now is the time to put SatFish to work. Okay. Now is the time to put SatFish to work. I'm kind of veering off topic because that's what I do. It's very important because we're going to have some cold water. Okay. And you got to have warm water out there. I mean, I'm not sure how cold it's going to get as far as the water temperatures go, but let's just say that you're going to need to find a good temperature break. Okay. And this one was taken up in North Carolina, and you can see that temperature break there. And on that particular day, they crushed those Wahoo up there. But anyways, let's come down. You can see some of the rips up there in the Carolinas. And then we come down here. I've just got so much here. And we'll come down a little bit further. But anyhow, what you're going to do is you're going to look for that temperature break, and those Wahoo could be out on the hump this next week. Okay, they could be out on the hump. So it may be worth a drive to go out there to 600 feet, take a drive. If there's lots of small bullet tunas out there, there's going to be Wahoo out there. probably next week. Again, if we have a full moon, you got the full moon coming up, they will be moving through, but where they're going to be at is going to be a lot of, where's the bait? Where's the temperature? Where's the best temperature at for those fish? So those are the things you got to keep in mind. Okay, what and how deep are they holding? Are they going to hold down on a thermocline and 80 feet where the water's warmer? So there's just all those different things that you got to keep in mind. And the best thing to do is just go through and read this blog in detail. And then I honestly, this is the time of year you need to like get the SatFish. Okay, you need to. What you'll do is you'll go through and you read all this stuff. It's some good education here, and then you can use my code Good Karma. You just go to satfish.com, get signed up, and then get signed up for their trial. And then, yeah, I can't give you any other pointers because that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be looking for that temperature break, and if it's a nice day, I'm gonna have to push out further, and yeah, man, that's how it's gonna go. So, uh, anyhow, so that's that one, and then. Yeah, the best Wahoo trolling device. Ah, there's Elliot. Elliot owns bait strips. Again, winter time is my favorite time to run the bait strips. I tend to catch a lot more Wahoo in the winter on the bait strip. Okay. And there's Brooke. Okay. So you got the best Wahoo trolling advice. You'll come down. And I've got a lot of different things in here. I talk about planers. I talk about the removable inline lead to get the weights down deep. A lot of you guys want to run high-speed trolling spreads, but you don't want a hand line. Listen, I hear a lot of people thinking that this does not work. It does. These inline leads work perfect. So the removable leads, I have never had a problem with them twisting up or doing anything, especially the ones I buy from the tackle room. Now I am an affiliate for the tackle room, and I've got a link in there. I can make like maybe a couple of dollars if you purchase through me, but it's totally up to you. And then also too, one of my favorites is that blue drone spoon. Put a sea witch over the top of it if you want. I caught a lot of flack for sharing that with you guys, so there you go. It works. Um, the drone spoon's been around forever. You can add a squid. You can do whatever the hell you want with it. It doesn't really matter if you add I don't think if you add a sea witch over the top, but it does look really good. So I like the blue. That's my favorite. The blue and silver. And that thing's got a lot of action with it. That's like the oldest Wahoo, that one and the wood, um, the piece of wood with the hook, I call it. Um, the cedar plug. Okay, then you'll come down and I've got the Gulfstream witches, good witches, love them, well tied. You got the blue and the fluorescent. That's good for when there's lots of flyers around this winter. And then you'll want this color. Order it. Okay, just gonna leave it at that. Let's see, and then make sure that you click on that image to order it through Gulfstream so I can make a couple cents. I'm an affiliate for them, and you will want this one. Okay. Then you have the old purple black with the gold skirt underneath it. It's really good. I also get into in this one about like, I give you an example of a spread that you can run with nomads and halcos. I do that from time to time, just depending on how the sea conditions are. I give you some trolling pattern advice, S turns, watching your RPMs, how to get like keeping your boat balanced. I remember I was fishing with Captain Bouncer Smith, and he like this was years ago. We were sport fishing, and he was like very adamant about making sure what side of the boat you were sitting on. He wanted to make sure that bait was running correctly. So I still, Bouncer, great captain. So anything that he shares with you guys or along the way, it's something that I would truly listen to. Um, Pioneer and of a lot of things in South Florida, a lot of fishing tactics. So very good. Let's see. So I tell that story in here. Adjust your trolling speeds accordingly. I talk about getting cleaner trolling lanes, trims up, trim down. I don't know, I just do whatever I can to get the bites, man. If I'm not getting the bites, I start changing shit around and doing what I can. But one thing I gotta tell you guys is, so that's that. So you can just go through and take a look at that. So one thing I want to talk to you guys about too is be careful about your about changing too much stuff around. So have a plan like before you go out and have different spreads for different lights. So, like I said, your sun's going to be at your highest point as far as noon goes, and then so you want to have a morning spread ready, you want to have an afternoon spread ready based on what you're seeing, okay? And also too, if you're going to be fishing in powder water, a lot of guys are, oh, there's no wahoo in there. There's tons of wahoo in that powdered water, tons. And if you have like 35 foot of visibility, 30 to 50, they're in there, okay? They were in there thick. I mean, a lot of them, okay? Because you have to think that you catch a lot of bonitos in that depth. So in that powder blue. And the water, if the water temperature is right and there's lots of bait, they're going to be in there. We caught a monster in that powder blue. I was like, it was crazy. I was like, and they were there. So as far as the lure color goes, it was pink. So they jammed right on top of me. Pink, pink with a ballyhoo on it, a big, big horse ballyhoo. Like I said in the when you go back through the blog and you read about ballyhoo, you want to have bigger profile baits for the watercolors off so that fish can look up, and they're pounding on bonitos in there and also speedos. So running those bigger profile baits when the water quality's off is what I recommend. So and that's what they're doing. They're hungry in there. So you get a few bites and you hope they stick. So that's that's I'm just saying. So it was good. The water, even they're in there, they were in that grass. They were moving in and out all day long. I was getting the intel. So and they were, it was right. It was right on. So okay. So I would get excited about that because I keep thinking about that fish and like, it's cool. So anyhow, I've given you guys a lot of information. Okay. So I think I'm going to wrap this up here. I look forward to seeing you guys in the new course. Uh, get signed up tonight. It's going to be, I'm super excited because I'm going to do things a little different. I'm going to have some on the water stuff where you're going to see with live bait, which I've never shown before. So that's going to be recorded on the water. And I've never shown that. I've never, like, I have not on any of my videos have I shown you guys how I live bait fish because I kept it close to my heart. A little story about the live bait fishing before I wrap up and how I learned it. I needed to learn how to live bait fish, and I needed to learn how to do it on my own. Okay. And so I took 3 to 4 years like off of trolling for Wahoo, which was brutal because I like to troll, but I shut it all down and all I did was drift fish with goggle eyes. And I did it all summer and I did it all winter. I sacrificed dolphin fishing, and at that time I sacrificed going offshore. So, and I had goggle eyes every trip, and it was, and then I would have some pilchards. Okay, but at that time I also had there was also a lot of mahi mahi around, so I was like I would catch big mahi in close while I was fishing for live bait fishing. And I did it all summer too, all summer. And I didn't do much mutton fishing at the time. So I was just focused on live bait fishing. And that's what my clients did. We caught big kingfish all summer. We caught lots of fish on live baits. And I did not troll at all for 3 to 4 years. And so I learned it and it's there for me when I need it. The trick is now is just having, the right clients that are patient because live bait fishing is not for not for somebody that is antsy. It is for people that really want to target a big fish. Okay. It's similar to sail fishing. So, but except I'm targeting a mixed bag of fish. I don't use kites. I've got a new weapon this year that I'm like excited to use, and it is lethal for slow trolling. It's the absolute best thing I've seen as far as getting boat control down. So I'm very happy with that. It's just it's listen, it's that fish are biting differently. You got to have the edge and you got to like tell people, hey, so you just got to work on different techniques. And that's something that I'm going to show in the course. So it's all about getting the bites. As far as catching the fish, um, that's up to the angler. Again, I run a charter boat. My job is to get bites. And if they don't connect or if the client pulls it off, that's just how it goes. So something to think about. It's all about the bites. And if you're not getting the bites, you're not doing it right. Okay. So I'm just going to keep saying that and saying that. So, um, yeah, that's enough. Okay. If you want to go fishing with me this winter, uh, email me at goodkarmaryan@gmail.com. And when you email me, please know that I am a fun fishing charter, that I fish for what's biting and I want to get the best action. So just know that when you email me, I'm not Amazon.com. Okay. I'm not Amazon.com. And that's what fishing is not is. That's not fishing. Okay. So please don't list the whole itinerary of what you want to do. I'm going fishing, and the clients that have the best, that do the best with me, just let me do my job. And yeah, and they do, and their catches show it. And those that have an itinerary or tell me this is what you're going to do, this is what you're going to do, and this is what you're going to do, those guys never catch. And don't show up with a cooler. That goes for, and don't show up with a cooler thinking you're going to pack fish. Here's the deal. I'm going to give you guys a little thing that I'm okay with it, but that's the biggest jinx ever. And I know charter boat captains that are like, when they see a client that tells them that they brought a cooler, they fill their cooler, that captain, man, he loses his shit. That's worse than like some guys hate bananas, but the cooler thing is like that's when a captain hears that he goes ballistic, man. This like these guys go ballistic. So do yourself a favor. Don't tell, even if you brought one, don't tell your captain that you brought a cooler for him to fill. Okay. And the first thing he's going to say to you is that he's going to give you the GPS coordinates to the Key Largo fisheries or to Publix. So I'm just saying, that's the truth. So, okay. So you can email me at good again. I'm running fun fishing trips only, and you guys know me. The guys that fish with me over the years know what I'm all about. I'm here to have a good time. I want you guys to have fun, and yeah, and the fishing is like it's the Florida Keys. It's one of the best places in the world to fish. It's just an amazing place. So. Um, Also, too, I've got several other courses out there, and I have a fishing club available for the guys that really want to advance quickly. And then I have the Good Karma Sport Fishing rigging crew as well. And that information you can find in the on the at goodkarmafishingtackle.com. Guys, that's it. Follow me on Instagram, Good Karma Sport Fishing _FL _keys. Email goodkarmaryan@gmail.com. And remember, anytime you're fishing, it's all good. Thanks, guys.